All right, look, I have good news and I have bad news. The bad news is that this bull market, it's almost over. The cycle's almost over. I do believe the top's coming soon, probably late 2025, beginning 2026, we're gonna see some sort of top. The good news is alt season's coming. And alt season, while it may be short-lived, it can give us massive potential profits. So with that in mind, I'm going to show you my October portfolio because I do believe there's a chance that alt season will start in October and continue throughout November and December. Let's see how that works out, but let me give you my favorite picks that I am betting on right now. So without further ado, let's get started, and we're starting right now.
Hey guys, I'm Ethena. Remember, Paul is not a financial advisor, but he is good looking. Also, this is not financial advice. Please subscribe down below and check out my channel at Ethena.
Hey, welcome back. My name is Paul. If it's your first time here, this channel is all about crypto, all about cryptopreneurship. And in this video, I want to give you my October altcoin portfolio. It was a bit of a mouthful there. October altcoin portfolio, because I do believe that these altcoins are gonna run. Now, before I share these altcoins with you, and no, I'm not gonna beg for likes or anything like that. I don't even care. I'm so excited about this potential alt season here. But before I start, I have to say something. I have to make something absolutely clear. Just because I mention these tokens, they're not the only tokens that I'm holding. Please, in the comment section down below, I don't want to read, what about this? What about that? You said this. Don't you hold this anymore? Don't you believe it? No, just shut up. I'm just telling you the ones I'm noticing that have strength or narrative that I am playing and betting big on. Does that make sense? It goes without saying that we're holding Bitcoin. It goes out without saying that I'm holding most of my coins I've talked about in my portfolio, unless I made a video or live stream telling you I'm not holding them anymore. So with that said, let's get straight to the point. Starting with Aster, now at $2.28, and yes, I know what you're gonna say. Paul, it's gone up so much. What about? Yes, it has gone up so much. And I made the call for you guys at 44 cents. I made 3 videos and 3 posts begging you to buy at 44 cents, 56 cents, 90 cents, all documented, gave you trades with leverage. You could be up right now. Aster is a monster of a coin. I made the video, I made the call. Yes, there's more potential upside. Yes, it might dip. It doesn't matter. This thing can go up. And I have profit levels for you right here in this video. I'm actually gonna give you some profit levels on some of these coins because a lot of you are gonna ask me in the comment section, so I'm just gonna tell you right now. One of them is around $4, let's say $4. That's the first level I'm looking to take profits. The next one is about $9.4, then around $19 for that extra something. Can it go higher? Yes, because it can take market share from hype. Hype went all the way, to almost $60. I don't see why it can't get to $20 or $30. And that's what I was saying as soon as this launched. This is a Hyperledger or Hyperliquid competitor, okay? On Binance. It's exactly the same thing, but on Binance with CZ backing it. There's no technical analysis that you can possibly do here. It's a new coin. There's no price history, but this coin is a monster, and you can see this with its price actions, just breaking all-time high after all-time high here. So wait for an opportunity, get into this coin, and take it from there and get it into your portfolio. This may not even come down that much, maybe around $2, 1.7. I would be buying into this. I really would. Then you have Hyperliquid, and look, it went indeed all the way almost to $60, and now sitting at 45. And I understand a lot of people think, and they may be right, about Aster taking market share from Hyperliquid, but I do believe this has more upside to go. This would be your blue chip and your go-to if Aster actually fails. Could Aster actually fail? Yes, everything can fail. You know, these are crypto wars here, and you don't know what anybody has up their sleeves or what may go wrong or whatever. You don't know that. So if I'm holding, let's say, $10,000 in hype, I'll be holding $3,000 or $3,500 in Aster coin. I'm not telling you to go by these numbers, I'm just giving you an example. Obviously I have more, you might have less, it doesn't matter, just giving you an example here. But I'm going for a 1/3 or 1/4 ratio, if that makes sense. Aster coin being my moonshot coin, it's not even a meme coin, but it can do meme coin-like profits, and Hyperliquid is kind of like my blue chip, so to speak. Does that make sense? All right, so let's move on. And for this very reason, I have Avantis as well at a much smaller position, but I do own Avantis. I actually, the comments in my video brought this to my attention. I didn't really research it deeply, full disclosure here. By the way, this video is not sponsored by anyone. This is all on me. I'm just giving you my opinion. This is not financial advice, blah, 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 etc., etc., etc. Read the disclaimer down below. But I'm holding Avantis as well. A very small position, very high risk for a narrative play, because if this battle between Hyperliquid and Aster coin indeed happens, and I believe it will, then Avantis and maybe other ones like Bluefin, they might take advantage of this, or they might get hype as well. And because of the low liquidity, this actually might go up fast, but make sure you take profits as it's going up. As a matter of fact, you should be taking profits on all of these as they're going up from now on, because as I said, we're getting close to the potential of this cycle ending. So it's what we do now. Does that make sense? So Avantis, as you can see, up at $2, up only 300 or 400% over here compared to Hyperliquid's 1,300%, and yes, I know this is on CoinMarketCap, it could be more, it could be less, doesn't matter, I'm just showing you something here. And Aster's 2,500% in 7 days, which again, it's actually more. I was begging you to buy this coin even before it was listed on MEXC on Aster chain. I mean, I was telling you to go to AsterDex and actually buy this. So anyway, regardless, this is what I'm looking. There's a war there. There's gonna be a market share war, and we should have our blue chips, our mid caps, and our high risk, so to speak. And these are the 3 coins I'm holding for this narrative. And then we have Pump.fun, and look, yes, I know, Pump.fun, there was a lot of scams on Pump.fun, but this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this massive cup-like formation here, and this handle, and it was trying to break 0.0087 over here. Well, the more you hit a certain level, the weaker it becomes. So now it came down the bottom and made a nice cup handle formation over here, and if it comes up and breaks these highs in an alt season, this thing could fly. Along with a new narrative of these live streams by influencers on Pump, which I yet have done, I still need to look into this. But I do believe it's gonna bring more life into the project, and technically, price action wise, it just looks that way. It looks like this is what's gonna happen. Of course, these are all probabilities. I'm just giving you my 2 cents or my two Satoshis here. Next up, you have Ethereum. Yes, I've said this and I'm saying this again. This bull market's not going anywhere without Ethereum. And while we did flip into Solana and we did call the bottom on Ethereum, the recent bottom on Ethereum, we called it perfectly. This thing just went up again. We were positioned in it, and now at $4,000 or so. And I do believe this will get to 6, 8, or even 10K by the end of this bull market. And the interesting thing is, a lot of things are being built on Ethereum. It's making a comeback, but there is one project that could actually bring life to Ethereum, but also Linea chain. We'll be talking about that in a second. But there is something that could bring life into this, and that is the MetaMask airdrop. Yes, this is confirmed. We're gonna have a mask token being airdropped to MetaMask users and maybe even Linea users. I actually made a whole video about this. I'll leave it at the end of this video because you don't want to miss that video. But MetaMask having an airdrop is huge. It's bigger than you could possibly imagine. If you're new in crypto, if you're new here, You don't understand how big this is. If you think it's this big, it's actually this big. I'm telling you right now, this is huge. And it looks like they're timing it with alt season. It looks like they're timing it with alt season. I explain all that in the video at the end of this video. It's actually tied in. I'll also leave it in the description down below so you can check out. Make sure you watch that video after you finish this one because it's huge. And with that said, this can actually bring life into Linea chain. Why? Linea and MetaMask, they're all part of Consensus. They're all pretty much the same company. And we already had a Linea airdrop, by the way, but you may be eligible for more for mask tokens holding Linea. They're gonna be all in partnership, and I do believe this is all timing together with alt season. Again, it's in the description down below. The video is in the description down below. I don't wanna talk about it too much in this video because we have other altcoins to talk about because you really don't want to miss these coins we're gonna talk about next. So let's move on. But yes, Linea chain, maybe Linea token, maybe Foxy, maybe even Linux might actually make a comeback, because if Linea makes a or life comes into Linea because of this MetaMask drop, then believe you me, the ecosystem should do very well. And as long as it has fueling from alt season, be very careful what I'm saying here because it needs these conditions, it might make a huge impact with your portfolio. So make sure you check that out. Next up is Beam token. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Paul, Beam is looking like shit. It's not rewarding properly when it comes to its low nodes. Listen, Beam right now is up 64%. Okay, it's not all that, but it does look like it may have bottomed over here. And if it starts breaking some of these resistances, I do think it can do very well. Don't forget that Beam has the AI narrative and the gaming narrative. And we got into nodes. We have, with my partner Frederick, we have a node with 1,000 nodes dedicated to us, another 300 on another node. I myself have 4 or 5 nodes, I can't even remember, and we get rewarded. We've been getting rewarded with Aster. We've been getting rewarded with Aether all this time, and it's actually doing quite well. Aether, by the way, forgot to put it on the chart, maybe another one, but we're getting rewarded with this. And we should be getting rewarded with Beam once Beam does well. But Beam as a token may do well. Now, I'm not telling you to go all in, but it is one of my plays here, especially since I have the nodes, if that makes sense. So Beam can also be part of our October crypto portfolio. Next up, Pudgy Penguins. Okay, I'll get back to the video. Look, Pudgy Penguins are not just a meme coin from an NFT. Pudgy Penguins has a whole lineup of products and marketing is huge, and they know what they're doing. And look, it's got the same sort of chart here. This massive cup, this handle, it didn't seem to break out now, but maybe this goes this range over here and breaks out later. But if it breaks this, I think it could do extremely well. Pudgy Penguins could do a 10-20x in an alt season if the conditions are favorable. So I do believe Pengu should be part of your crypto folio as a meme coin, even though it's more than a meme coin, right? Yes, you can hold Doge as well. I'm not showing the chart on Doge. You know I'm a long-term holder, but I'm talking about what I'm holding for October or what I'm looking at more, and Pengu is one of these coins. So make sure Pengu is also in your portfolio, in my honest opinion. Now I'm also holding EtherFi, and I did buy close to the bottom over here, so I'm not really worried about it. But if EtherFi can actually break $3, I don't see why it can't at least re-challenge all-time highs of $7.8 and even get to $9, $14, $20 if it's all favorable. Of course, these are all bets. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but I do believe it has the chance. Will it actually do it? I don't know. But I am keeping it part of my my October portfolio, and depending on the action it makes, I may get rid of it or not. As most of these coins, because we might be proven wrong at any time in October, if it's October, and we need to be ready to convert. We need to be ready to say we were wrong about this, let's convert. That's what our live streams are for. That's what the VIP group is for. It's in the description down below, where you have almost 24 access to me and ask any questions in real time, Zoom meetings, AMAs, and so on. It's all down below. Make sure you check out the VIP factor. People are so happy with it. People have made so much money with it. We made the Aster coin call. Everybody, like, really, it's worth it. Go read the reviews and see if it's for you. And with that said, let's move on. And along with EtherFi, I'm also holding Ethena or Ethena over here. And this actually looks like it's doing a little bit better, but it needs to make support somewhere here, come up and break these highs. And this could also do very well. Sitting at 60 cents over here, but I do think this is a 5x, maybe 10x potential in a full-blown alt season. Again, and I wasn't showing my screen, was I? So let me just show my screen over here. So Ethena over here, I do believe has the potential. As you can see, it needs to break this resistance, 77 cents. Let's call it 80 psychological. Then it can re-challenge 1.2. If it breaks 1.2, it should be able to break 1.4 and go up to $2, $5, or even 10 in this bull market in an altcoin season if everything it just aligns, if that makes sense. So again, it's a risk play. Don't ape in on these, but it could do extremely well, and I'm actually betting on it for October. Next up, we have Solana over here. Try to break 256, 255 level over here. I do believe this is gonna break at some point, and I do see Solana at $500 to $700, possibly 900. It's very possible to do this in a full-blown alt season. We've been talking about Solana forever, ever since it was $2. And in the beginning of this cycle, or somewhere in this cycle, we called again at $8.5. We made massive bank. I believe that this has a long way to go, or a 3 or a 4x. And you might be saying, yeah, but everything else is a 10, 20x. Why are you getting in Solana? I think it's more sustainable, as in it's more probable for it to go up. It will sustain its price for longer to give you a chance to exit. But also, if you miss this and it goes down, it's probably going to come back in the next cycle. So it's actually a safer coin, and it's worth holding blue chips as well. I can't go over how important it is to structure your crypto portfolio in high caps, blue chips, mid caps, and low caps, and your risk coins. I've talked about this forever. Please watch my videos on how to set up a portfolio. You can search for them. It's extremely important, and it's the difference between you getting completely wrecked, like everybody almost is in crypto right now, or if you were holding Solana, Ethereum, and Bitcoin, and you'd actually be up now, even though you lost in many other positions, if that makes sense. Then we have the Sui ecosystem, and we've been talking about this as a narrative for this bull market for a while. Went all the way almost to $5. Couldn't break $4.8 over here, but I believe it will. And once it will, I don't see why it shouldn't reach $10, $14, even $20 and do a Solana type move. It really can do that. So even in the next bull market or next cycle, I do believe Sui is gonna do well. I do believe in Sui. And if Sui does well, then so will Sui's ecosystem. So plays like Walrus, for example, could actually do very well, even though it's struggling over here. It needs to break 53 cents, maybe even 45 cents to 53 cents range over here, but I do believe it will do well. If Sui does well, it's waiting for permission from Sui, if that makes sense. As well as a Deep Book, which in my opinion is actually doing better price action than Walrus, and I actually hold a bigger position in Deep Book. So these are my two ecosystem plays for Sui for October. If October happens, alt season happens, I do believe these can do well. If Sui does well, these will do well, and they could outrun profits from Sui. But you want to be holding Sui as well, just in case, as I've explained for other coins. Then we have Cookie. This is an AI agent play waiting for the comeback on Binance. So if this breaks, let's say 23 cents, which I believe it will in a full-blown alt season. It will at least re-challenge all-time highs of 63 cents, and if that breaks $1, $2, even $4 is quite possible, but I will be taking profits on the way up on this one. It just makes sense, and as you should with most of these coins. But Cookie is also in my portfolio, and if Binance starts getting more attention and BNB tokens going up, by the way, forgot to mention BNB, we got back into BNB. We were in BNB and we added to our BNB positions when Aster came out, and BNB is making a full-blown comeback right now. It's looking like it has a lot of strength, so hold BNB as well. But if that happens, if action comes back to BNB, then basically the ecosystem of BNB will do well. So Aster, Cookie, all these things, with a little help, if AI comes back, this could boost things into atmospheric, astro something or word, I don't know, put some scientific word there, astrospheric heights or profits is quite possible. So I do believe that Cookie should be part of your crypto portfolio for the same reason that virtuals may also be good. I don't have it in this video, but virtuals should be also good to hold. Then we have Ondo here as our RW play or RWA play. And basically, these are the October cryptocurrencies or altcoins I'm looking at now. You're gonna ask me again, Paul, what about this? What about that? Let me show you a screenshot real quick of what I'm holding. Bear with me a second, just so you can see what I'm holding. So here, grab a screenshot. Here are the coins I talked about a couple of months ago for a potential alt season. Obviously, the video I'm making now for October is a bit different, but these could also all do extremely well. And if you look at our favorites over here, you will also see, you may see a few more that are not on that list, as well as, of course, our other positions over here. There may be some that are not on our list, but basically that's what I'm holding. And if you want to know about Aster and why Aster can actually 30, 40, even 50x, and I actually believe this, even though I'll be taking profits at 20, 30x, this can actually 30 to 50x, make sure you watch this video right here. You don't want to miss this video. Aster might actually be the coin that will make your portfolio be set apart, and it's not sponsored. Make sure you check it out. See you in the next video.